This is Yuji Itadori, and this is Spider-Man from Marvel Rivals. Both of these characters have received some amazing animation work over the years, and I so happen to have character rigs for both of them. I've been wanting to create a fight animation for a while now, and since I have experience animating both Spider-Man and Yuji in the past, I decided to put my skills to the test and animate both Yuji and Spider-Man in an awesome fight scene. I started by storyboarding some shots with pencil and paper so I could have a rough idea of where I wanted to go.
Okay, so basically Yuji's gonna be walking around and you're gonna see a portal and oh shit, Spider-Man comes out. Sukuna is gonna come out and slash Spider-Man in half. I don't have that drawn yet, but...
Then I got to animating when Yuji and Spider-Man first started trading blows. Here's what the first scene looked like at that point. This was actually the second version of this shot because the first attempt I tried out looked like this, but I was not very happy with it. You will see some of it later though, because I kept some elements. Then I animated Spider-Man jumping towards Yuji to try and knock his head off, but Yuji manages to roll out of the way and starts hustling his way out of there. I decided that he was also going to jump out the window and onto another building. To do this, I was going to need to figure out how to make a glass breaking animation, so I watched this tutorial and it worked out great. Big shout out to him. This is a really easy way of using a rigid body simulation to make stuff explode. Basically, I have a box that's invisible and it goes through it, and then I do some other things and it just worked out. But then I realized the whole scene kind of looked bad after adding the glass animation into it, so I redid it completely. The first thing I did to redo it was made a giant road with a bunch of free car assets driving down it. Then I got some better building models from Sketchfab and lit them up with area lights. Then I reworked the glass shader to just make it a white emission shader, changed some small other things here and there, and boom, we end up with this. Much better. I then went back to the opening scene and added some setup shots before Spider-Man and Yuji started beefing. I got this super cool Spider-Verse portal from Agora.com, which saved my ass because this would not have looked nearly as cool otherwise, and I animated Spider-Man jumping out of it. Then I added this shot of Yuji walking and turning around as he hears Spider-Man jump through the portal. Then I made sure that the office building actually looked like an office building by adding a bunch of furniture and paper all over the place from Sketchfab. To finish off this first scene, I hand animated some spider webs when Spider-Man pulls Yuji down to the ground with a grease pencil object parented to the camera. They look alright. I tried to use this add-on right here, but it did not look how I wanted it to. I also have been using this built-in add-on called Shakeify for all my cameras so it looks like the camera is handheld, and I really like the effect it gives. Okay, now that we have the first half of this animation done, I decided to use some VFX. I used the Lazy VFX toolkit and it was awesome because all I have to do is drag and drop and boom, it looks amazing. I also used some lens effect they have, which added a lot in my opinion. You can also add impact frames, which is what I did when Yuji lands right here. Now I have to animate Yuji running on the other roof and Spider-Man following him out. So I reused the glass breaking animation and then I had Spider-Man swing right after, do a flip, and then mess Yuji shit up again by crashing him into the building. I also got this super cool impact frame with all sorts of stuff going on here. However, Spider-Man awakened something deep inside of Yuji because we start to hear laughter. And then Sukuna stands up and I animated this aura around him with another grease pencil object. Then I used a bunch of VFX stuff and I added a whole bunch of impact frames and all sorts of shit. And then we get another shot where Sukuna slices Spider-Man in half and we get a bunch more impact frames, of course. Okay, so that's how the animation goes, but what about all the other stuff? For compositing, I made this super simple shader that basically takes the glare node information and overlays some dots on that lighting. To be honest, I just messed around with shader nodes until something worked how I wanted it to, but if you guys want this node, I'll put it on Gumroad or something as a simple Spider-Verse shader that you can import into your projects. Also, the rigs were made by this mad lad right here and I got them on his Patreon. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Okay, back to the compositing of these shots. I rendered with these settings right here, 1280 by 720, 32 samples, and I had motion blur on and used some depths of field in the intro shots, but that was about it. Then I color graded everything in Premiere Pro with Film Convert because I thought it was cool and it looks pretty good, and I added some grain and halation back into the shots, which is why they look kind of like this. Then lastly, I sound designed everything with Envato elements, and I think I did a very okay job at this. Definitely one of my weaker points, but that's alright. Overall, I think everything on this project took from about 40 to 60 hours over the course of 2 or 3 weeks, and I would give myself a B+ or so because I really just wanted to finish a project and get some practice in before I go back to college in a week or 2. Okay, thank you all for watching. If you have questions about anything, put them in the comments or add me on Discord with this username right here, and we can chat. Okay, bye-bye.